Good evening, everyone. Thank you for coming in. Hi, everyone. Okay,
Good evening, everyone.
Daniel is here. Very good evening, Daniel. Richard is coming in. Hi, Richard. Richard, you need to. Okay, already. Okay, thank you all. Tonight will be the first a forum for property circle in which I started since last month only, right? And today will be our first forum. I have invited Dr. Daniel. Okay, Dr. Daniel, then also Richard Un. Maybe Dr. Daniel and Richard, Daniel first. Maybe you can introduce yourself. I will not introduce you. I think I let you introduce yourself even better.
Hey, thank you,
After you,
Michael.
Doctor.
Thank you, Michael. Thank you for having me tonight. Thank you for having me in the property cycle. Property has been my daily bread and butter for more than 40 years, all around the world. I'm originally from Italy, but I've been living in Malaysia since 1998. And I would like to see whether anyone here tonight have been attending any of my talks before COVID. If anyone did, put up a one in the chat. Let me know if anyone have been ever attending one of my talks. I've been coming several times to Penang, invited by Michael, first of all. Then at the time there was there was who is this property guru, and so on, everyone. And I love Penang very much, and I love property even more. Oh, I can see some familiar faces coming in. Very good. And I'm based in KL. I have been doing property data analysis all my life. And right before COVID, I shifted from pure property into property and technology, utilizing technology to make approaching property easier, better, faster, more transparent, not only in terms of buying and selling, but also in terms of managing residential commercial properties, short-term, long-term, leasing, and my field of action, which is construction and property development. So I'm the president of the Malaysian PropTech Association. I've been there for a few years already. And tonight we have here also our Secretary General. Good evening, Mr. Wong. Thank you for being with us tonight. And the Malaysian PropTech Association has been and is serving the property market in Malaysia at every stage of the lifespan of a property. So that's it for the moment. Then I will tell you more during our chit chat tonight.
Yes.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Michael.
Along when we chat, you can ask any question. I'll pull it up and I will ask Dr. Daniel and also Richard. Okay. Richard, introduce yourself.
Thanks, Michael. Thank you for inviting me. Yeah, it's been quite a while since I last spoke on property-related matters. So, for those who do not know me, I am an accountant by profession. Uh, um, but more importantly, I am a tax practitioner. So, tax things related to properties and stuff like that, you can ask me now. And also, but I think the most relevant thing here today is that I am a property investor too. So, I do utilize my knowledge in finance and taxation to try to improve on my return on the on my investments. I think that's the most important thing that one person has to look at. We cannot overlook the tax aspect of property investments. This is my message, and also maybe later on throughout the forum, there could be some interesting matters brought up, or you have any interesting questions that you'd like to ask. Please feel free to ask. So I think that's about it from me for now. Back to you, Michael.
Thank you, Richard. As for me, most of you have known me and also attended my events. Yeah, you know most of you know my background. I've been doing this for more than 15 years, especially during COVID, I have gone online. So today, I also started Property Cycle where members can join the group in which there are a lot of information from webinars to study tours to talks to seminars from Dr. Daniel, from Richard, in a lot of information where you can gather. These are true, both of them, like Dr. Daniel and Richard, they are the true master of what they do. Like Dr. Daniel, he likes everything facts. Property must come with facts, I know. So facts and figure. Then Richard, you don't play around with him. He's a tax guy. So everything by law. That's what I learned. I follow a lot on Richard. Yeah, that's what I learned from him. So if you join like Property Circle, you will get these people and you'll learn a lot from Dr. Daniel and Richard. Okay, that's about me. Yeah, about me. Let's don't delay any further. We go to our first question. This for both of you. Yeah. For decades, Malaysians believed that buying property was one of the safest way to build wealth. Has that assumption fundamentally changed, or does it still hold true today? Richard, do you want to start?
Sure. Absolutely. Property is a great tool for building wealth, but only if you buy the right property and also for the right reason. From tax perspective, I always like to say, let's start with the objective. What are you buying it for? Own stay, for in long-term investment, for short-term investment, or whatever lah. So I think we must start from there, because right now, especially right now in this, I think all would agree that in this current market, the buying, you just simply buy a property and hope for a significant capital appreciation. I think those days are gone. What we need to look at is something which is sustainable and also can remain attractive in terms of potential capital appreciation, rental returns, and also not forgetting how do we leverage on those tax aspects to get greater efficiency and better returns from our investments. And I think one very important thing that maybe for everyone concerned is that property investors, we should look at well, let's not talk about the usual metrics that we use to calculate, as a guide to calculate our returns, gross dividend, gross rental yield, how much profit on the sale of property, based on property price and all that. Those things, it's not so accurate. We should look into aspects such as, whether the property achieves your internal rate of return. There I go with some finance related measurements, but it's very important because just as a simple guide, I don't want a headache. I do, but particularly right now, the property appreciation potential is there, but not that great. So what is the expected rate of return are you expecting? Because ultimately, say for example, if something which is slightly better than say the returns on bonds or whatever, 5.5%, 6%, 5.5%, I might as well put the money inside KWSP, right? Hassle-free, and things like that. And it's guaranteed. I wouldn't say guaranteed, it's very consistent and all that. In the past, where the capital appreciation was great, then the whatever the case may be, your rate of return is great, is high within a short period of time. But now, not really the case. There are still gems outside. That is for sure. I'm still looking at properties, But the thing is that, that whether it fulfills your own internal rate of return. If you think something is better than FDs, then better than 3%, then by all means, that's your internal rate of return.
I remember, Richard, you have a chart showing the comparison. You do a calculation, right? You showed me before.
Yes.
Something like that. Then which one the rate is better. the return is
Oh
better.
yeah. I
remember that.
developed my own spreadsheet, my own
Even
spreadsheet
better.
to help
Oh,
me determine, whether it produce
okay.
internal rate of return. You say this simulation, if sold within 5 years, then what is the expected the capital appreciation. Then say for example, if year 5, year 6, then after that, what's your market value right now? Then
Yeah.
whether
Actually,
your
that's good.
IRR or your has been achieved. You achieved, then it's a sell signal already. Then you can sell. That kind of thing. Right. So
That's the.
that's
I think
own
that's
internal
very useful.
spreadsheets.
Mm. How about you, Dr. Daniel? What do you think?
Absolutely, yes. As Richard has been saying, property has been since always the best and the most secure investment. Do you think that McDonald's is a fast food provider? Is not.
Mhm. Mhm.
Is a giant real estate tycoon. They
Mm.
own properties in
Yes.
every single country of the world, and
Yes.
their earnings are not coming from the fast food chain, but by
The
property.
process.
The biggest corporation in the world, yes, they do millions and billions out of their product, but they make tens of millions and tens of billions out of the property that they own. So property is definitely a prime asset to invest in. Investing has to be very prudent, very calculated, very, very, very much data-based. We all know, we all hear about overhang of properties in Malaysia, right? We have been talking about it since before
Yes.
COVID, 2018, 2019
Yes.
onward. And I just give you two numbers. The one that have been attending my talks before, they know that I always talk about numbers. I always use data to support what I'm saying. Malaysian population 15 years ago was 30 million plus. We are now closer to 34 million, and the forecast is to come to 42 millions by 2050. Now, 2050 seems very long, very far away, but is only 24 years away from now. Now, say that we don't go to 40 million, just say that we go to 30 to 42 million, we just go to 38, are additional 1 million homes to be delivered in the next 25 years. So we have an overhang of 15,000 plus 16,000, less than 20,000 homes. That will be definitely absorbed and is not the issue. One of the problems that Malaysia is having instead is mostly because of emotional reaction of the market, how I call it, a undervaluation of our properties. If we combine property value, average property value in Malaysia with average income of Malaysians, and we create a ratio between the two numbers, Malaysia has the lowest value of property in Southeast Asia, even though it's the third country by per capita income after Singapore and Brunei. So purchasing power is here. Numbers are positive in terms of future demand. Buying property is definitely good and profitable, providing you act using your brain and not your heart. Follow what Richard was.
I did a research, bit of research. Actually, our Malaysian property is still, as compared to other countries, we are still at a lower range than them. It's cheaper, still cheaper than them.
I just say that, Richard,
Yeah.
Michael,
So-
is
yeah.
ridiculously low compared to Vietnam, for instance.
Oh, yeah.
Their Vietnamese
Vietnam,
GDP.
yes.
Wait a moment. GDP per capita in Vietnam is half of the Malaysian one.
Oh, see?
And the price of property are the double
Yeah. See?
of Malaysian property. So it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, true. And some more, you see that nowadays I can see that the market, foreigners started to come in, especially I'm from Penang. I see a lot of Chinese from China coming in, and the world has really changed. Like now in Australia, that's what I read in the news. Chinese from China are dumping their properties in Australia, then to invest elsewhere, investors. So actually, the world really changed. I can see the changing habit today. So that's the reason why now, if you compare from to other countries, we are still cheap. And yes, our per capita income is still not that high. It's playing catch up with the market, but I can see that people are still buying. And the latest figure, it shows that yes, the property transaction went down a little bit, but the volume increases. The value the transaction reduces, but the amount, the transaction value has also already increased.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Okay. Before that, those who just came in, you have any question, you can go down, put your question in the chat box. So once you put in the chat box, I will take it out and I'll ask either Richard or Dr. Daniel. Okay. Come towards our second question. Okay, my brother. Okay, let's talk about what structural changes are taking place today that property buyers may not fully appreciate yet, but will significantly influence their next decade. Maybe Dr. Daniel can start first.
Ooh, I like to hear what Richard says about this.
Yes, yeah. Okay, Richard can say first. Can start first.
Okay, my thoughts about this is this. Well, of course, the demographics are changing. That's for sure. Family sizes, not like our grandparents' time or even our parents' time. It's huge families now. It's smaller, more compact, and things like that. People getting married later at later stages, and at later ages. So you have more single people out there. I think that's another thing we have to carefully look into, and and also there's this flexi working arrangement that the government is advocating, work from home, hybrid working lifestyle and all that. So the home essentially becomes an office and vice versa. So those are the maybe some of the changes that I do see that the property investors will have to look into to see how to cater for the demand. And one very important thing, maybe applicable to Brother Daniel and myself, it's like it's more for the retirement. For us who are at this age, and of course our life expectancy increases and all that. So there are more probably demand for retirement homes kind of style of living. So I think these are the few things, it's interesting to watch as the years progress. And for us, we have to be, as property investors, personally, is that I have to be mindful of what the market really needs out there. So in that sense, also we can foresee what sort of a demand and for such properties. And also, particularly in Penang and also probably in the heart of KL itself, with notwithstanding any of the laws and regulations stepping in to curb this kind of services out there, is one particular area is of course Airbnb Airbnb kind of accommodation. So that has good potential, but also notwithstanding that touch wood that not that the government don't step in and what Penang is trying to do, curb number of half year, we can only rent out for half a year whatever nonsense
Yeah.
things like that. So that's So we also must be mindful of all those potential regulatory changes which may affect the property investments. That's pretty much I had to share or what I can think of at the moment. Yeah. Daniel?
Yep. Agree with you, Richard. And I add in a bit more from Greater KL. Greater KL, as we all know, Metro KL, KL Metro, has been hitting 10 million population and is a power hub of GDP production. Kuala Lumpur and Selangor together are covering, I think, more than half of the GDP of the country. Now, what happened with the big GDP producing centers, business centers, and Penang is next because Penang with the semiconductor industry that is now shifting from pure manufacturing on contract from third parties, investing finally in R&D and becoming their owner of the technology. So the semiconductor industry in Penang will keep on growing. So what these center of economic power are attracting is young workforce. And we look at buyers today, majority of buyers are 40 years and below, 35 years and below. Millennials are already in the market buying. Gen Z are start earning the first salaries and will be ready to buy in a couple of years. Gen Alpha will come next. What the young generation like and dislike? They like very much work-life balance.
Correct.
They are
True.
all about work-life balance. And work-life balance doesn't match with traffic jam, which means they love public transportation. My daughter is 23 and a half, and she doesn't drive a car. She hates driving car, and she loves going around in LRT and MRT.
Yeah.
But she also likes to ask me to bring her here and there. Now, what this brings, first of all, the reinforced concept of TOD. And the TOD, how it was planned 10 years plus ago, it is no longer valid. TOD is close to public transportation, not any longer attached to public transportation. Shouldn't have a shopping mall inside, because if I have public transportation, I have shopping mall, I have my house above, why should I go around? Then people will be not having a proper lifestyle, community lifestyle as living is supposed to be. Now, majority of the workforce in future will have nice homes, bigger homes in the outskirts of the city, and spending the 5 working days of the week in a very small unit of 300 to 400 square feet, where they live alone. They have their bedroom, the bed, the bathroom, a small pantry where they can cook some fast food or order Grab food or Panda food to bring in for their necessities. And then on Friday evening, they move back to their house. This is what is already happening in KL. We have developers here that are producing hundreds or better thousands of small units. And from what I've seen, majority of these small unit development have all been sold out and purchased not only by investors, but by these young professionals.
You can see the trend.
Yeah,
The trend
it
is
is a
quite
change.
visible now.
It's an
Developers are
ongoing
spending
change.
the unit.
It's an ongoing change. Then foreigners. Foreigners are finally understanding that Malaysia is an extremely competitive alternative to Singapore. I have been seeing a lot of corporates moving from Singapore to Malaysia, KL above all, and partially to JB. Lifestyle is less expensive. Quality of lifestyle is much higher here. I don't know if we have Singaporean in our audience. I hope not. Please don't be angry with me. But it's a
You
fact.
never know. I can't guarantee
It's a
you,
fact.
Daniel.
It's a fact. In Malaysia, there is more freedom of movement, freedom of gathering, drinking, smoking, all these entertainment part which are not so common somehow, and more regulated, are definitely much more regulated in Singapore. Malaysia is still partially a Boleh country, where the Boleh effect is controlled, regulated, but is there, and is very much appreciated by expatriates. The expatriates community in KL has been growing enormously, and I know that in Penang, foreigners are start flocking in again. We have a strong economy, we have a very strong currency, we are not crude oil dependent, even though globally the prices are going up. So also in Malaysia we are going up, but still we are very much independent country-wise on a number of essential resources, and this is extremely attractive for foreigners. On top, our healthcare system is super fantastic. From the public side to the private side, honestly, I've been talking to plenty of foreigners that have been treated in Malaysia with huge satisfaction of the treatment, of the medicine, of the doctors, of the environment. And of course, they've been loving very much the final bill that they had to pay. That was a small portion compared to the same bill in Europe or in Australia or in Singapore. So those are the things that need to be looked at in terms of future movement. Know who are the buyers, know what are the trends in the market, and at the end you will not make a mistake in moving toward a profitable property investment.
Okay, yeah, I totally agree. I stopped here for a moment. I got 2 or 3 questions from the chat, from the audience. Okay, I pose it out to you. What do you guys think? Should I buy now? I see most of my friends already have bought.
Well, worst time are the best time. If your password is cash is the king and you are a king, then go ahead and buy. True or not?
What do you think, Richard?
Because now you buy cheap, for sure.
Yeah.
Richard, what do you think?
I think first thing is that we have to start with John, right? Is that now the main question is what are you buying it for? I think that's the starting point, you know, for your own stay, investment, and stuff like that. Considering that from what your question stated, I presume this will be your first home, you know, because you know like
I think so.
people have bought, then
so.
you haven't bought yet, so this is your first home. So I think you need to ask yourself 3 questions. Effectively, actually, I have an ebook on this.
Okay.
Yeah, I have an ebook on this on numbers and stuff, but that's for another day lah. But you know, the questions that we normally need to ask is this starting point. Okay, can you enter this property safely? You know, meaning to say that you know, what I'm trying to say is that you know, how is the price? How is the price? Can you afford it? I think that's very important. You know, yeah, whether you can afford it, you know. Then also at the same time, you know that if potentially normally this is the normal evolution, normal general evolution of property investment. First you buy for your own stay, then after that you move on to for investment. So you could sell off this property, or you buy yourself a nicer property to stay and then you rent this one out. Okay, so that gives you a little bit of idea about the potential property. You have to look into the potential appreciation in the property price, and what are the other factors involved that you know that may help you with the better rental return in future and things like that. Okay. Next question I think you need to ask yourself is buying property, people talk about 10% down payment, or you know, like some developers nowadays, if you buy the property,
Normal,
no money
yeah,
down, essentially maybe 1,000
yeah.
ringgit, and then you get your own properties, right? The next question you need to ask yourself would be this, can you hold on to this property comfortably? You know, whether you can hold on to this property comfortably, meaning to say that because you are looking at a situation whereby you buy, okay, but the problem is that you have to factor to things such as what's your loan commitment, right? Number one. The other thing is like of course, what are the related costs to a property which you own? You must remember some certain things from this aspect. Renting has its good points, buying has its good points. Buying, yes, is all yours, but you have all the attached expenses, which is your responsibility. Like repairs, maintenance, grid rent assessments, the maintenance charge, like whatever nonsense, insurance and all that. That's yours. So these are all the costs involved. Whether can you hold on to it comfortably, and you also must playing you have to be a bit kiasi, like an accountant like me, like, will I still have this job for the next 3 years? Then
sustain.
your what do you call that? Your cash flow is pretty much stable from there, okay. And final question is, of course, is when you buy that particular property, you aim for that particular property, is that well, eventually, can you exit this property easily and profitably? Because I think that's important aspect. Because sometimes, if you look at certain what do you call that, well, certain, well, example, I also have heard this before, like certain Airbnb properties, for example, you buy for your own use, own stay, and all that. Then after that, never mind, you move on to bigger one, this one you want to sell. Then eventually, then you find that, alamak, there could be a little bit of issue because the property price is what you're looking at, and what people are expecting, it doesn't match. Number one. Number two is that, for me to buy into this property, then after that, I'll be stuck with people, partying through till middle of the night and stuff like that, So it may limit your market, limit your potential buyers. So I think these are the things that you should look at, when you consider buying a property. Buying a property now, to summarize, important thing is you buy a property now. Of course, buying a property now is better than later because property will keep on increasing in pricing, but don't rush into it.
Correct.
Choose your property carefully based on these 3 criteria, which I've already laid out to you. Yeah, that's from my personal experience as well. Putting the accountant and tax agent by the side, but as a property investor. Yeah.
As for me, it's very simple. If you are ready, you buy. You don't chase whether your friends already bought. You must buy too. Don't chase what your family or friends buy. You buy when you are ready. Be it whether the market is good, market is bad. There's no such thing as a right time to buy. Okay, the right time to buy is when you are ready financially. So like what Richard says, yes, you must be able to sustain in future. What happen if you lose your job? So that for me is very important. I know a lot of people say, now is the best time to buy. If you don't buy now, you're going to lose the best time already. You must buy now. No, for me, you buy when you are ready. I think that is the best one. Okay, I come to the next question. I think this one is for Dr. Daniel. Is high-rise property oversupply in Klang Valley?
Not only. Not only. High rise is definitely one of the most challenging type of property to be looked at.
True.
Definitely there is oversupply. not only in Glen Valley. In Glen Valley is massive somehow. Why this is happening? Because big plot of land are no more available. In KL nowadays, there is the 1 acre, half an acre, 2 acres, not big plot of land. And the preferred type of property today, I was looking a bit in some statistics, and I can see that terrace and semi-Ds are still the most preferred type of property in Malaysia, as it should be, because we have land. We don't need so many high-rise. However, keep in mind what I was saying earlier about young professionals. Keep in mind what I have been saying in terms of population growth for the next 25 years, 24 years. And keep in mind that in this moment, when properties are in huge oversupply, prices are at the lowest level. So doing all the consideration that Richard just mentioned now, and choosing the right type of property might be still a good move to be done. But of course, you have to be extremely careful. Let's say that overhang has been bringing in also another big advantage for buyers, which is you buy completed property. You can put behind you the risk of an abandoned project, which was instead extremely high in 2010 till 2016, 2017. Nowadays, you go around, you see so many overhang of property, you are smart enough to choose the right one, that part of the risk is gone. Due to the overhang, developers are willing, or owners are willing to let go properties with a haircut. So
Yes.
you get a double winning point. Reply
Yes.
at the end of the day is yes, high rise are definitely in overhang, in quite big oversupply in Klang Valley, and not only.
Okay. There's one more question, but I leave it to the after the next question. After the next question. So hang on. The next question. Let's go towards the third question. Okay. When evaluating a property, let's say you have an opportunity, what are the three most important things you will recommend while you are evaluating? Richard, would you want to start first?
Okay. Okay, let's see now. The three most important questions to ask. Okay. I'll approach it from the perspective of property investment. Okay.
Cool. Okay.
From property investment, because they may be property homeowners here and all that, but probably I think this is a more interesting approach when I talk about property investments and all that. The three questions about buying your first property or any property for that matter, I've just now already addressed. I've already addressed when I replied to John earlier, whether you can simply own this property, hold on to this comfortably, and you exit. No, that is the general questions for any house, any home, but any property. But now let's approach it more specifically from investment perspective, property investment perspective. Question number one is, of course, or rather, one is this, like very important, again, accountant, tax guy, what to do, is that what is the expected net yield after tax that you're expecting? I come back to the first question, which I partially covered when I talk about internal rate of return and things like that. People tend to have this general metrics of doing gross yield of 7%. That's fantastic, man.
Yes.
Amazing. But the thing is, you're talking about gross yield, then you don't take into consideration all the expenses. Then, one very important factor is taxation aspect. So that is, you need to approach it from the net yield after tax question. What is the net yield after tax that you're expecting to get, and does it fulfill your expectation? Number two is, of course, and of course, this one I'm jumping the gun really, but question number two is that, of course, buying properties is great. It's an amazing feeling when you buy it. May not be the case when you hold it, may not be the case when you hold it. Because the question you will need to ask is like, the next question is like, okay, this property, if I buy, who's going to rent from me? And eventually, rent from me, and eventually, who's going to buy from me?
True.
That is a very important question that you need to ask, because if there's no what do you call that? There's no demand, then or there's a lot of supply, and for that kind of demand, then what are you buying it for? No, you'll be challenging. Then you need to suppress your rentals and whatever price and all that, and then it will come back to your question about just the first question again. Really, is in the sense that that is going to affect your net return and stuff like that. Number three probably is in that sense. I think what I would say is that really, really, really worst case scenario. If I have to hold on to this property for say for example 10 years, really I still have to hold on to this property for this 10 years. Will I still buy it? Will I still buy it? If assuming that okay, capital appreciation is still there, slow but sure, but offset with a good kind of like a rental return, good cash flows and stuff like that, then yes, you can still consider. So I think these are the three questions that I think any property investor will have to ask yourself.
Very relevant. Yes, very relevant. How about you, Dr. Daniel?
Well, the three most important questions. Points, more the question, values, somehow. I would place the very first one, and again, as Richard, I'm looking at it from an investor point of view, not on news, because on news has so many different, a totally different type of approach.
Correct.
So, as an investor, the very first thing that I will look is location.
Okay.
I fully agree with what Richard has been saying. That is the reply that I am expecting by a person that takes care of accounting and taxation. So is a very wise consideration. I would rephrase the sentence in which are the three most important aspects that you looked at as an accountant and tax agent, and what are the three most important questions that you will ask as a property investor. Can I say so, Richard?
Sure.
Because you have to combine the 3 plus 3.
Yes.
3 plus 3 means from a property investment point of view, what is important? Important is location. And when I say location, I mean what is happening in the location where you are buying the property. What has happened, what is happening, and do a bit of homework, find out what will happen in that location. There is still land available. Check how many transactions have been happening in the location that you are looking at, because these are things that are pushing up or down the value. Check how is the trend of prices. Talk to agents, talk to negotiators. How much was the value of property here 2, 3 years ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago? And do not ask to one negotiator. Ask to 10 negotiators, and then you make an average of the value that the replies that you get from that. Because of course, agents and negotiators are trying to sell properties, so we'll tell you wonders. So location is the very first one. Second thing that I will look at, we talk about completed properties. That means I buy from overhang in this moment, which to me is the best basket of choice, one of the best basket of choice. What I will go and do is check out the occupancy. check out the rentals in the surrounding area. How this type of property is rented out. You are an investor. You definitely want to have an ROI. Properties are no longer, as Richard was saying 10 minutes ago, are not any longer a flipping object. You buy, you keep it, it will generate value. All right. So if you look into this way, you need to get a rental. You need to build a positive cash flow out of your property, which means you need to rent above what will be your loan repayment per month, plus tax, plus management fee, and make sure that you can get the tenants. So occupancy is very important, and occupancy is driven by amenities, is driven by educational institution, is driven by business growth in the area. If it's a conducive area, you just go and buy. In KL, the best area, one of the best areas is Old Klang Road, Kuchai Lama, Sri Petaling. Those are areas that have been super alive like forever. Business is thriving, food and F&B is thriving. Buying property in that location, even in a moment, in a period of recession, will generate positive cash flow. And above all, the value will go up. So the third thing is if you are buying on the under construction project, of course, what I've been always saying in the past 15 years, check who is the developer. Track of record, make sure that you are in good hands. Because true enough, in this moment, the market with the overhang offer the possibility to buy completed properties, but there are still a lot of launches, and that means you might be deciding to buy an under construction property. In Malaysia, we have close to 1,000 abandoned projects. So make sure you buy not from the 1001.
I second that with you, that Dr. Daniel. Last week I have an event with IJM Land. So I asked the crowd, what is I give them 5 things: location, demand, all thing, and also developer. What is one of the most important things they look at before they buy a property? You know what? One of the very first that they look at is who is the developer.
Yeah. And
Location.
actually, sorry, looking at who is the developer is not only valid when you're buying under construction.
Yeah.
But on completed property, if the developer has the reputation of a quality delivery, that means you know that you are buying a valuable product, something that will be still beautiful as it is brand new within 10 years' time, right? That is something that is covered also has to be covered also for the completed property. Make sure you are buying a good product.
They maintain the project well after 10 years. That will also determine the value of the property. Very important. I think the property, when it was complete, looks so nice. After 3 to 5 years, it went down.
Yeah.
It's like the place is the paint went off, all this, they never take care properly. So it boils down to if the developer continue to do and to do the rectification work. That is important. That's the reason why I ask this to a crowd is that I want them to think what is the most important before they want to buy. What do they look? They look at a developer. They look at location. They look at the demand. All these things is very important. That is why the question, the answers that Richard gave and you gave is all boils down. It's something like I did presented also in my last event, in which I have this called PDF system. It's a framework that I developed last few months. Okay, last few months I developed, in which the participant will take all the boxes in which they see from developer, the location, the demand, the ROI, all these things before they buy a property. So I'm not telling you you must buy, now is the right time. You yourself, after filling in, will feel confident whether to buy or not to buy. Then there is a scoring. Whether you sky high, then you can buy. You sky very low, then you got to think 2-3 times already before you buy. Because you are not ready. If your
Absolutely.
market is good, also you're not ready, means you're not ready to buy.
Very
See?
true. Very,
Mm.
very true.
So that is why I also started this property circle, so where everyone can join. Okay, yeah, Dr. Daniel and Richard is already inside the group. So I started this group because I love all of us, Dr. Daniel and also Richard. We like to educate people. See, it's our part of our passion, and we come with years and years of experience. We don't talk something that is not there. Especially Dr. Daniel and Richard, everything must be facts. You must show me facts. Only I talk, or else I don't talk anything by the air one. Yes. So because of this, I started this group, and I'm looking at least 100 founding members. I will give it free. Okay, you can join. You don't have to pay anything. I think my admin have put up the link down there. You can join. You have to fill in the questions in the Google link. Then you can join us. There's a lot. There are webinars. You'll be invited in property talks. You invited in our I call it property discovery journey, not 33 anymore. I changed the word. Proper discovery journey. Maybe together with Dr. Daniel or Richard. So we also will be there. So see, this is a learning experience. Is that you're not just learning, you're seeing the property itself. We will educate you whether to buy. Richard will tell you, a tax part, you better be careful on this. Or else you are an investor, you buy too many properties, they'll come after you. And Richard will tell you. Okay, Richard caution. Dr. Daniel will caution you other things. So that's why I started off this product. So if you want to join us, you can join. You have to fill in the things. Then once approved by us, you can join our team. There will be a group WhatsApp that you join us to us. Then from there, you have a lot of information. Okay, that's that. We come to a next question. Okay, by YK. Okay, is it still worth buying an apartment of 20 years for own stay and later for rental near Petronas Twin Tower? Anyone who want to answer this? Yes.
Yeah, I start
I think,
first.
bro, Daniel, I think I need to leave this to you. Yeah.
Okay. But later you can reply, because basically it's like saying,
It's the same
will
thing, yeah.
will you still buy a 20 years old property in Georgetown, for instance?
Correct. Yeah.
Right.
I want
The
to say the same
concept
thing,
is that.
Richard.
Okay. Location. I just mentioned the very first point is location. All right. Close to KLCC is telling me that 90% is a high-end property, which are normally of better quality, better materials. So 20 years should be still, again, you have a look at who has been the developer 20 years ago, but it should be still in pretty much good condition. You say you buy for live-in, which is telling me that most probably you will do some renovation, which means when people are asking me better to buy a second-hand condo, normally I say think twice, because and look at how old is a condo, because in the moment in which you buy after 10, 15 years, wiring might be needing to be changed, plumbing might be start having some leaking, tiles are not any longer as shine as the first day, walls might be having hacked here and there. So all these considerations need to be done. But again, being in the KLCC, in the proximity of KLCC, is definitely a high-end property or medium high-end property, and in that case, quality should be better. Some renovation will be needed. Definitely, if you are saying I buy to stay first and rent later, rental later, KLCC area can go for expatriates. Expatriates are always looking at two things, either a small unit if they are alone, or big unit if they have family, which means 600, 800, 900 square feet is considered to be a small unit for an expatriate, and 1,000, 4,000, 5 and above for a family. All right, those are the two parameters that you should take. A lot depends also on the pricing that is asked. 20 and how much has been used before, who was using the property before you purchase. Those are the things that I will look at. But if you ask me a 20 years old property in Puchong, I might be telling you consider twice. You tell me a 20 years old property in KL, proximity of KLCC, I would say let's have a look.
Okay, Richard,
Maybe,
like
yeah.
what Daniel said, let's turn it into parallel pass. What do you think?
Oh, okay, let me add certain things, which is very interesting perspective from what Dr. Daniel has mentioned, because yeah, seriously, I think the first, honestly, for example, right now, I am looking at property at the moment. It's not 20 years old. It's probably about 12 years old already. It's about 12 years old. But I think the most important thing right now is this, you have got to go and see it for yourself. Right?
True.
That is a very important thing. You have to go and see it for yourself. Go and see, take a tour around the area, check it out to see how well the property has been maintained so far. The one that I'm looking at right now actually is pretty well maintained and and why and surprisingly is our one of our rumah mampu milik kind of projects. It's like
Wow.
it's really that, because it's after 10 years then only it's released to the public and stuff like that. You don't have to go to government and whatever nonsense. So now the thing is, I go there and take a look, check it out for yourself. How's it? And you'll be surprised. So you're thinking yourself, wow, this rumah tak mampu milik. How's this what do you call that? The condition. How is how are people servicing their maintenance? Are they paying on time and all that? Well, very simple. What? Go and look at their notice board lah. The whole thing about their cash flows and all that is there. What? Go and take it out. Check it out for yourself. If it shows that it is positively get money coming positively and all that, then that's a very good sign. One good sign is that look at the outlook. It's nice. Very good sign, really. Look at the notice board, your cash flows, receipts, and whatnot. That is another very good sign. Okay, so if you're talking about own stay, then you know that if this is what I do. You go out and take a look at the condition of the who is the what do you call that, the occupancy, and what is the kind of like the neighbors that you're going to have. So if it's good, then by all means you can go ahead and consider buying it.
Yeah. I don't know if you have ever heard in KL of a few properties. One that I really love very much is Kampung Barisan. Kampung Barisan in Jalan Jaratek. You go and have a look at it. It's a 25, 30 years old property that seems to be delivered yesterday. It's absolutely beautiful. Tan and Tan project. Beautiful. And another one in Bangsa, Tivoli Villas, extremely well maintained, extremely well, and that was constructed, I would say, more than 20 years ago, at least 25 to 30 years ago. And it's still in
That's why
condition.
maintenance is very important. Maintenance of the unit. Then you're saying that then new tenant will also will want to rent because it's maintained well.
Yeah.
And definitely the unit you must maintain well before you rent to the tenant. You cannot rent to if you want to rent to a tenant with a very shabby unit, you might get a much lower rental. You just renovate, do a fresh paint, then improve the furniture a bit, then you can rent at a higher price. I can
Yeah.
see that many people complain, how come my unit has a lower rental, all these things? To me, it's like how you maintain the unit. You have nicer when potential tenant goes in, oh, they like unit because your colors is not fading, your chair is new, not all those already broken chairs. So they will rent at a higher price compared to another unit in which everything is old.
Yeah.
They are not willing to pay high price. Yeah. So
True.
even that, if the place that you bought, the developers, the management does really take care of the place, fresh paint, I see no reason you buy, you stay, and in future you want to rent, you can rent out.
Yeah.
Guys,
Yeah.
just excuse me for 2 minutes. I've run out of water.
Okay. Go ahead.
Have
I
a
talk
drop of water.
to Doctor.
Yeah, I'll be back in 2 minutes.
Okay.
Yep.
No worries.
I hope we have been replying to your questions. Wait, where is John, Sam, and YK? And others, please feel free to ask, right, Michael?
Yes. Anyone can put in the chat. You want to ask, there's a time you can ask Dr. Daniel. You can meet up with him here in physical. I don't think so. So now is the best time to ask Daniel and also Richard. Yeah, here. That's the beauty of Property Circle. Our forum is that we can gather the best mind in the industry. I will put it this way:
Absolutely.
the best mind. And these people come with a past experience. They are already veteran, many years. And Dr. Daniel, how many years are you in the property industry already?
Well, let me think. My first work, my first job for a developer. Okay, in property investment, I purchased my first property in 1979. So you calculate how many is 21, 46, 47 years in property investment. And in property as a consultant, as a data collector and data analyst since 1984, which make 36, 42 years.
Wow. You are really veteran. You're very veteran. You're very veteran. Okay, Richard is back. We come to our next question. Okay, next question. Okay, we have another question for Sam. Okay, Sam, wait until the next we finish the next question, then we will answer. Oh, this one for you, Richard. He is asking you. But wait first, our next question first. Okay. We talk about, okay, in your opinion, let's talk about risk. What risk do property buyers consistently underestimate? Oh, this is very important. Okay. I like this question because it's open up to many possibility of risk in the market today. Yeah, you see a lot of advertisement is on our social media or promising like what Richard said, 7% ROI, 10% ROI, high ROI. So what do you think about the risk that is happening today? Anyone want to start?
I can. I throw the first, Richard. Are you okay?
Yeah, go ahead. Hey, bro, we'll do like what you've mentioned. You know, I mean, I will address it from the finance and tax aspect. You can address it from the pro. Yeah, I like this one more.
Okay, yeah. So it will be different.
Okay. Well, if I look Underestimating. Somehow I'm touching a bit the financial side, Richard.
By all means, yeah.
But he's not doing proper duty on what is told you by the negotiators. That is very often happening, unfortunately. Negotiators are telling you, oh, you can rent at 3,000 per month. Go and check. Go and check.
Yes.
Go and check
Yes.
in that property. Go and check in the nearby property. Understand the rental market in the location.
True.
And that is something that a lot of purchasers are really not looking at all. And somehow they don't do risk management in general. They don't play the game of the what if, which should be played at least 5 times. What if? Then you get a much safer and probably more brilliant type of decision. That is what I think is happening, unfortunately. Tax agent, financial guy, tell us.
Okay, from finance perspective, number one, I think the probably risk. Would I say consider this a risk that underestimate? Yes, I would say it's a risk. You underestimate your ability to, or rather, you overestimate your ability to buy, to own the property. Why do I say that? You must remember something about properties. Which will lead on to the question from Sam also to a certain degree. Like number one is you tend to overlook the transaction and exit cost, the transactional cost involved in the property. It is very simple to to overlook this. You see any banner that says that property price from, say for example, 688,000. Okay. From 688,000. Oh, okay. So this is then after that the negotiator will tell you, oh, you need to just put down 10% lah, whatever nonsense lah, and all that. No legal fee and all this, whatever nonsense. Then you're very happy, you set aside the money.
Correct.
Okay, no legal fees on that aspect. What about your loans? That is going to be you have to pay legal fee on your loans. You have to pay stamp duty on your loans. 5 ringgit for every 1,000 loan. So 1 million is about 5,000 extra costs involved. That's number one. The property covers there's no the stamping is free. Yeah, it's only 10 ringgit. The property is not there yet, so it's only 10 ringgit. So eventually, when the property is ready, then you're hit with your stamp duty on the whole property value. Okay.
Yes.
So it's 100,000, next 400,000, next 500,000, and anything above 1 million. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4%. So this is something whereby you tend to overlook. So this is one of the risk areas from finance perspective. Number two will be this. I've only one word to tell you. E-invoice. Okay. E-invoice. That's only one word I want to share with you. Okay. Because right now, for those, I think all of us okay lah. We are all very law-abiding one, But some friends out there, they are kind of naughty, right? So eventually, what happens is that e-invoice, that is the biggest challenge about e-invoicing. Is based right now the law makes it mandatory for any transaction above 10,000 ringgit. The seller will have to issue you an invoice. So today you buy say for example from the developer, say for example technically speaking rumah mampu milik lah 300,000 lah, they will also issue an invoice already. Okay, because it's above 10,000 ringgit lah. So meaning to say now the government knows for sure you have 300,000. Okay. Next is, of course, you must remember that another aspect is that now it connects in with the stamp duty requirements. Now we have this system called e-stamp. E-invoice lah, e-stamp lah, e-this, e-that, everything e-one lah. So to a certain extent, in line with what PropTech is looking at everything e lah. So now we have also e-stamp, right? But e-stamp meaning to say that all the information relating to that particular property, relating to that particular your loan relating to that property, and all that is all uploaded up to the RB without any human intervention, right? Your down payment, your loans and stuff like that is all up there. Your repayments are all up there. So can you imagine this? You have one property, it's okay. Now you have a build-up of number of properties. So then the RB would have a clearer picture of what sort of wealth that you have, what sort of net worth that you have. Automatically, again, the e-filing of your tax return, it ties in with that record. Ultimately, it's very easy for them to match and say, hey, looks like bro Michael Yo, you have underestimated or rather underdeclared your income by a few hundred thousand. Please explain to me where this money come from. You see what I mean? So this is this area from the finance and tax perspective, which I want to highlight.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Very smart. Very smart.
Yeah. Okay, Richard. Next question is especially for you.
Okay.
From property between loan and cash, which option is save more overall by considering the tax payment cost on rental income?
Okay. You must remember something about the general mechanics of building wealth through property investments. Very important question. One very important aspect you have to remember. Because property investments, we get to leverage on bank borrowings to build our investment portfolio and our net worth eventually. So this is one important aspect. Now, okay. So when we talk about cash and loans, I mentioned this to one of my clients before now. I mentioned to one of my clients before because my clients asked me same question like yours. I buy cash better or I buy loan better? I don't want to based on all the loans and all that, pay interest to the bank and all that. So I will pay cash. You know what I told my client? I told, because this guy is super duper rich, so I told him that thank you for giving me a fighting chance to build up my portfolio and my net worth to be slightly nearer to yours, because I leverage. My 1 million, I can buy a few properties. It's 1 million, he bought only one. That's number one. No? From tax perspective, again, you must remember this. You're talking about rental income, which you correctly highlighted. Rental income, you have this rental income. Among all the property-related expenses, if you're talking about tax deduction against your rental income, the biggest element is your interest expense. Biggest element of. So if you do not have a bank loan, you don't have interest expense, meaning to say that your rental income is bulat, more or less, is wholly will be subject to tax. Okay? Sure. It's subject to tax. Right. You must think of it from this alternative perspective if you can. You say, yeah, I go and pay 4.5% interest to the bank and all that. My thinking is something like this. Because of my tax deduction, my effective interest rate, which I pay to the bank, is now maybe 3 point something, 25% tax savings now. So it's only 3 point something. So I can use my extra cash and go and put inside maybe KWSP earning 5%. Win-win. I win both sides, right? So this is from this perspective. Yep. Another important thing, not related to tax, but also for your consideration, which is very important, Whatever the case may be, if you are able to buy a property using cash also, I would strongly encourage you to get a certain amount of loan, whatever the case may be, not for income tax purposes, but more for your own security purpose. You know why? like what Dr. Daniel has mentioned correctly, you do your due diligence and all that, right? But how much due diligence can you do on the validity of the title of the property they buy? Outsource it to the bank. They want to lend you money, they're going to make sure this title is valid, right?
Yeah.
So this is
I check for you.
my perspective about the cash versus loan. Yeah. That's all I have to say.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I add a chip in a little bit.
Sure.
Basically, unless you have been winning your million at the lottery, in which case absolutely go for loan. Normally, people that have 1 million to purchase a property have also a consistent income. Cash is the king. If you use your cash to buy a property, you are no more a king. Even though you can rebuild it, having a cash mattress where to fall if anything happen is extremely useful. COVID, less than 5 years ago, has been giving us a very good lesson on that. People without safety net have been jumping out of the window without safety net, meaning with loans unable to pay, even though banks have been coming in with the mortgage moratorium and all this. To me, even if I have 10 million in the bank, I will still go for a loan, personally.
True, true. So at the end, I think that answers you, Sam, that taking a loan is much better than buying cash, like what Richard says. Okay, those who just came in, okay, you have any question, you can put in a chat box down there. Okay, one last question to our panelists. Okay, it's about we are nearing 10 o'clock. Okay, we are nearing 10 o'clock. I'm going to post the last question, and it's not in the agenda today.
Wait. Before you ask the question, what kind of loan should be considered and any idea of suggested bank?
Oh, okay.
that
That's
are-
enough. Okay, answer first.
That is a question for you, Michael.
I repeat, what kind of loan
Yes.
should be considered and any idea of suggested bank offering better rate? I would think that is for me, I will go for flexible loan, in which flexible in the sense that anytime you have extra money, you can dump in. Yeah, that will reduce your principal. Okay, it's like flexible in the sense that if you want to use back, you can take it out again, right? Anytime. So as a property investor, I would think flexi loan is one of the best. I'm also using it to my advantage. Suddenly you have 100,000 spare cash. Do you put in FD or do you put in the loan? FD give you how much? Loan interest rate, you save how much you wait. If loan interest rate, you save more, why don't you put in the loan instead of FD your money? So flexi loan can do this for you. Okay, but that also depends on the interest rate that you are receiving. If the bank is charging you and the FD rate that you are getting. Which bank? Okay, Sam again. Which bank offer the best flexi loan with most reasonable interest rate capping and fee? Okay, Sam, if you ask me, I will say, to me is I won't tell you which bank, because to me is any bank. Okay, the highest interest rate the bank gives you is always can be negotiated downwards. Okay, the bank can also say, this is our board rate. If you are a good paymaster, your secret is good, they can negotiate down for you. There's no one bank that is the lowest as for me, because everything can be negotiated. Yes, Daniel.
I want to chip in one thing.
Yeah.
If you have 1 million cash to buy a property,
Hmm.
The first bank I will go and talk with is the one where your 1 million is, because
True,
they
true,
will
true.
put down a red carpet for you, and you can negotiate brutally
Whatever
on
meeting, yes,
everything, on
you
everything.
are right.
You
You
are
are
a
very right.
prime client for the bank, so the bank will serve you the best.
When your money is in that particular bank and they see you have so much money, you can even buy cash, but you prefer to take a loan. They don't. Some banks don't even have to see your document. They see your
Yeah,
money, they lend to you back to
yeah,
back. I can tell you,
yeah,
there are banks giving. You can show your net worth to them more than 1 million. They do not have to look at your documents. They
yeah.
just approve. Okay, you need, even though you have a lot of commitment, your DSR is very high, 200%. They can still lend to you. That's what I trying. What then Dr. Daniel is trying to tell you.
Yeah.
Okay, one last question. Okay, this question is not in the agenda. Okay,
Oi,
I want to know from your perspective. Okay, this is what I did from my laptop. Okay, this is a question that I'm trying. I get people to think whether they should buy or not should buy. Imagine an under construction unit and a completed subsale. Which is better to buy? Undercon or completed, or completed but still developer unit? Which one is better? Anyone? Richard, want to start?
Personally, I think it depends on, again, it starts with the objective. The objective, why are you buying it for? So, for example, right now, like personally, I am looking for investment. I'm looking for investment. I'm looking for smaller units. I'm looking for cheaper units with good rental potential. So obviously, this is going to be a subsidy unit. Subsidy unit, I can't qualify for the rumah tak mampu milik, So I have to look at all these subsidy units, and then after that, this is where that my personal approach would be considering my investment objective. So that's my answer.
Okay. How about you, Dr. Daniel?
completed, completed from developer. Completed
Why?
from developer because if you buy under construction, yes, under construction there are plenty of promotion, plenty of discount, and your loan kicks in stages, not all at
Progressive.
once, not at all at once. But if you go and buy upon completion of project, and the developer is good, those developers with completed property partially unsold are having a big headache every day because they have to think about this unit that they didn't sold. And
Correct.
they need to sell this unit because not for the profit. Normally, profit of developer is guaranteed upon hitting 65-70% of sales,
Correct.
but not to have management fee to pay for this unsold unit.
Yes.
And that is a burden for them. So you want to negotiate? Go for completed project, unsold unit. Because at that stage, you can really cow negotiate with the developer on the discount, on adding in this, on taking off that, is more flexible.
Actually, what you say is correct, Dr. Daniel. I did a comparison for the audience, the participant, whether buying undercom, completed subsale, or from developer and completed is cheaper. So among these three, after calculation, yes, taking account the stamping fee, the legal fee, the progress billing, the interest rate, and even the rebates, the rebates and free stamping fees. At the end, like what you say, Dr. Daniel, completed under the developer unit is cheaper. I myself bought one unit like this, and the discounts can be huge, even better than the initial undercon, correct? Because leftover, okay, and they can give even more things, more freebies. Some more they give free legal fees, certain stamping fees, everything a lot free. They just want to sell. But these are some of these units are MYProperties units. They can only convert upon the OC, the CCC. So it depends on the buyers. You make sure you do the comparison, the cost saving. So which is right, which is wrong. Undercon, yes, you get yourself ready in the next 4 years. You pay it progressive. But remember this, if you buy a 700,000 property, your progressive payment will be nearly 100 plus already. Nearly 70,000 already. Progressive payment and interest if you take a loan.
Yeah.
So you compare whether buying a completed or undercon is cheaper. Okay?
There is one more question.
Yes. Yeah. There's one more from YK. Sorry. For first-time house buyer to go for affordable or sub-sale unit, I think both of you also can answer this.
Why are you buying? Can you type if you buy for investment or for own stay?
Yeah. First-time buyer can also be either one. It doesn't mean for own stay only. YK, can you tell us whether you buy own stay?
stay.
Own stay, yes.
Okay, then if it's for your own stay, the best advice that I can give you, do not buy rent. Rent first. Rent first. Understand how the location where you want to buy the property is. What are the amenities? How is the accessibility? Again, renting a property in the place where you want to buy, it will give you a very good view on how to move forward. And do not be afraid because property are always on sale. So if the agent say, oh, this is a unique opportunity, honestly, BS, because a unique opportunity come in and repeat every single day. I am looking at Parkview Apartment KLCC. Okay. Well, my suggestion is try to rent a property in that area first and make sure that you like it. Because I have friends that have been buying properties in KLCC area. I do not say the address, of course, and they are regretting it every single day because they go home, they are jammed, they get out from home, they are jammed. But they have been purchasing the property. And for a few years, they are locked in with a loan. So they are not going to, they are going to suffer more somehow. So being very honest, I did it personally. The house where I'm living now, we rented a property very close to here for 2 years, understand how the traffic was, how the neighbor is, how the security is, how the traffic jam is, amenities, connectivity to highway, public transportation, and so on, hypermarkets, entertainment. Then you know everything, you know you like that place, then you go and buy. And Parkview is a very nice apartment, nothing to say on that, but my suggestion, rent first.
What do you think, Richard? First-time house buyer.
First-time home buyer. I mean, if you have the ability to utilize your affordable home quota, personally, is that if you can, you are eligible for it, then use it.
Should go for it.
use it because it's only that you only have that one card. People like me, how I want, I also don't have.
Yeah, we all want also, not
Yeah.
only you.
And remember this, once you have you buy a subsale property and then you want to buy a affordable home, tak boleh already. Okay, because only applies to your first home. So this is some certain criteria that you really have to consider very carefully. Again, if you're a first-time home buyer, if you're seriously thinking about buying a home first time, I was just Googling something about Parkview because KL is not my area, It is something like a service apartment, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Or this is what I see. So are there any potential Airbnb kind of like situation going on?
Yes, you're right, Richard.
You might have a very noisy neighbor, mind you,
Richard,
if
you're
you're
right.
going to be staying there. So
Yes.
these are the parameters you have to look at. So like what Dr. Daniel has mentioned, if you do really going to look for Parkview, then by all means, you better you rent first, check it out before you commit yourself
you're
on a
right.
very long-term basis. And ultimately say, this property is not for me. Then it's too late already. Okay. Another thing would be this. As far as, let's say, for example, first home buyer, one of the things that I normally tell my clients or even people who want to listen to me is this. You buy your first home, ideally, personally, for me, is you buy from the developer. Okay? If this is a situation, affordable home, hence developer itself, right? So number one, it's going to be cheaper, okay? And number two is, again, most of this kind of processes is already being, to a certain degree, taken care of. Because when you go to a subsale property, because again, new home, you got your defect liability period, whatever nonsense, is there. So you are more secured there in the sense that this thing will be taken care of by the developer. If you buy this subsale property, number one is there's no defect liability period. I always like to tell this joke sorry, I like to tell the joke there is this there's this farmer or rather there's this rancher which has a horse that keeps on falling, Then it can only stand for 1 hour, specifically 1 hour every day only. They will fall. Then they ask the vet to come and check what's wrong with this horse. Then the owner asks the vet, so what should I do? Next, the response is, next time the horse is standing, quickly sell it. Because there's nothing else you can do. So you can see from the outside very nice, things like that. But the problem is you do not know any issues behind the property. That's number one. Number two is also, again, like title and all that. I've heard horror stories about one title, two owners and stuff like that. Very kabut. So if you buy from from affordable home, first time home buyer, reputable developer and things like that, all these things will be eliminated. This is my personal opinion as far as this is concerned. And particularly if you have your that one ace card, use it why let it go to waste.
Actually, I like your response, Dr. Daniel. Rent first. And for Richard, I like it. Yes, if a service apartment, the noise level will also disturb your peaceful time. So go back to Dr. Rent first. Make sure the place is right for you. That's what make sure the place is right for you. Okay, I come towards the end. It's already past 10. We're going to take one last question if there is. Okay, if there is just one last question to our panelists, then before we go, I have some questions for you. Just answer me. Is it a fact or a myth? I have 10 things for you. I just going to read out. Is it a fact or a myth? Right? Okay. Just answer this. Okay. Property always goes up. Fact or myth? Dr. Daniel.
Sorry.
Okay. Answer whether facts or myth. Okay. Property always go up.
It's not true.
Myth, correct? You say myth. How about Richard?
Myth.
Myth.
Most definitely.
Rent is money wasted.
I didn't get it. Sorry, Michael.
Okay, no. Rent is money wasted. Myth or facts?
Miss,
Myth.
Myth. Dr. Daniel, can you
Myth.
get it? Myth.
Miss.
Okay. First home should always be for own stay. Myth or facts? First home should always be own
Myth.
stay.
Myth.
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 Myth. Okay. The best investment is always location.
Myth.
Huh. Myth.
Myth. Richard?
Myth.
Myth. Bigger loans means bigger loans mean bigger wealth.
Sorry, bigger loan means
Bigger wealth.
rub.
Bigger loans means you're more wealthy.
No, that's a myth.
Myth, huh? Daniel?
Same lah.
Myth. Okay, last one. Property is the safest investment. Myth or facts?
This question is kind of open-ended. Okay.
Yeah, correct.
Considering
So to you-
considering if let's say, for example, considering the other investment in place, then I would say this is also a myth.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, KWSP
Okay.
is the safest investment.
Okay, good. So that come towards the end of our session today. For those, thank you for Dr. Daniel and Richard. That's those who wants to join our property circle group. We put a link at the comment section at the chat session at the bottom. Please fill in the forms and submit. We will include you after we vet through. Okay, before we end, yes, Dr. Dan, before we end, one last parting words from you.
Yeah, I give Richard the priority first.
Richard first. Okay, Richard.
Well, I think that okay, when buying properties, personally, I feel that it's like don't be besides the first home buyers, but eventually first home buyers, after that you're gonna reach the stage that all of us here, or most of us here have reached, in the sense that then you start thinking about investing in properties. Investing in properties, definitely, going back to the first question that Michael was asking, whether it's a good investment vehicle, definitely it is. Definitely it is. But the thing is, don't be too engrossed with accumulating investments. Okay, accumulating properties. This is not stamp collecting. This is not stamp collecting. Could only select those properties that are suitable. Okay, don't, like I think Dr. Daniel mentioned, don't like use don't use like hard going, this one I must buy and buy, and ultimately also, it's like you buy this property is not your wife, you don't have to cling to it forever, okay.
Don't have to love it.
Yeah, when the time is right, just let it go. Okay.
Yeah.
So I think the closing line I would say would be this now. Buy properties that give you freedom and peace of mind. Okay.
True.
And not properties that require you to sacrifice your time and effort.
True.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, that's all from me.
Okay, thank you, Richard. How about Dr. Daniel?
Well, property is the best possible. I'm very passionate about property. We were discussing before the webinar started. I purchased my first property in 1979.
That's very long.
And since then, I have been selling, buying, renting, buying, selling, and so on. Is a very long-lasting asset. Is one of the best investment you can do. I said that at the beginning when I told them, I said very clearly here, the example of McDonald's, and it's just one out of many, out of the majority of big corporation, the big asset, what is making a corporation big is not the business, are the properties. So be wise, do not overcommit. I can't agree more with what Richard was saying. Remember that you can be a millionaire by the age of 30. Try not to be a millionaire in debt. Because if you own 10 million properties, 10 million in value of properties, but are all with a 90 or 70%, 70 to 90% loan, you are a slave of the banks.
True.
To become financially independent first, then you invest in property. Don't do the ballet. That is my personal advice. Buy a property as soon as you can, as soon as you can afford to buy it. Do not pretend to be a property investor with 10 properties, because that will kill you. All right? Build the wealth to buy 10 properties in a very safe manner. And remember always, make sure that you have a bank account with a safety net that goes from 6 to 9 months of your average spending. That is the very first thing that if you want to be a property investor, you should do. Have a robust safety net for anything unexpected that might be happening.
I agree. Yeah.
Things.
Totally agree.
Yeah, and I would like to add one last thought. Very quick one. I personally, and I'm sure that Michael and Richard will join me, I really salute.
I think we have learned a lot from today's what we have chatted today. Okay, I think I will always think this forum works because we have learned so many things, and we learn from your experience that you have been through so many years. Like Dr. Daniel, first property bought in 1979. Okay, at that time, Dr. Daniel, I'm still running around naked in the house. Okay, that is your first property. Yeah. So these are the experience that money cannot buy. Okay, these are the experience like what Richard shared with you, that Dr. Daniel shared with you. This money cannot buy it. This we have to go through it every day. Then only then we can share with you. All right. So with this, we come towards the end already. I hope I will see you next round. We have more forums coming up. Okay, more things coming up. Maybe we have Richard sharing his text. We have Dr. Daniel sharing what he's passionate on, his facts, his proper normies. Yeah. So with this, we call it a night. It's already 10:15 already. And good night, everyone, and have a very good night's sleep. Thank you so much.
Thank you all. Thank you all for being with us. Thank you.
Okay, goodbye.
Great evening. Bye-bye. Good night. Good night, Michael. Good night, Richard.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Good night, Michael. Bye. Bye.
Bye, Wong.